Son.
Ah, hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
I try and talk it out, see if things can be resolved peacefully.
An admirable goal. And yet we find ourselves in a situation. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so
Uh-huh. They mean well. They're only doing what they think is right.
you dealt with Libertalia. That's the result of their selfish, short-sighted plan. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more... I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Uh-huh. That sounds way too dangerous.
It shouldn't be. But it's important that we act on this soon. Before the Railroad... We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Seriously, this is a waste of my time.
Like many things at the Institute, this has ramifications beyond the immediate objective. Keep that in mind. A Courser will be waiting for you near Bunker Hill. You'll need him.
Pam wants to talk with you. She's in back.
I just heard the most fascinating rumor. The story goes that you actually found the Sounds crazy, right?
It's all true.
Deacon says you used teleportation. We know you got inside with the help of the Brotherhood of Steel. My hope is or at the very least, your true loyalty lies with us. So let's put it to the test. We have a vital mission that only you...
I'll stand by the Brotherhood of Steel.
You do know their plans for synths, right? Jenna, please, take some time.
Desdemona.
The Brotherhood would murder every synth if they could. Please, work with us instead.
I'll do the mission then.
You have no idea how relieved I am. What I'm about to tell you is that
Sure.
there's a man, or woman, we're not sure, inside the Institute, who helps synths. Dozens of synths owe him their lives. We don't know his name. We've never had a way to contact him. So we gave him the codename Patriot.
Right.
So you need to infiltrate the Institute.
Uh-huh. I'll do my best.
Excellent. Tom Devine, we can plant a coded message on an Institute terminal. And, if all goes well, just see Tom and...
Can I talk to you?
Something on your mind?
The Institute knows about Bunker Hill. They're planning to recapture the synths there.
The timing couldn't be worse. The old man's been sitting on those 4 synths. There's nowhere else that... Maintaining your cover is vital. But this... the sacrifice is just...
Sure. Stockton and the synths are depending on us. We can't let them down.
Well said. We wait until the enemy is in position, then we hit them hard. No one they send out comes back alive except you. Understand?
So much could go wrong. It's too risky.
With Glory, you, and additional reinforcements, we can't attack too early. We need to draw them into the kill zone, and then spring the trap. You'll know when. You'll probably have a Courser escort. You'll have to take him down. You've done it before, but it'll still be dangerous.
Taking down a Courser on top of everything else? It's too much.
It's a risk, but it's one we have to take.
This area is under our protection.
I have something urgent to report, Elder. The Institute is attempting to recover escaped synths at Bunker Hill.
How did you obtain this information? Our reconnaissance hasn't reported anything of the sort.
I received the information from the Institute itself.
And you've done the right thing by reporting this to me directly. Well done, soldier. Your report provides us with a golden opportunity to state our intentions to the Institute. I'm placing you in command of this mission. Exterminate the synths at Bunker Hill, and whomever the Institute sends to retrieve them. I'll instruct Kells to assign you the appropriate backup. Dismiss, soldier.
Stray radio signals keep pinging the array. Gonna try to filter it out.
Communications array calibration test successful. All bands nominal.
Carry food with you or you'll end up eating some pretty questionable.
Hey, it's the Wanderer. Wanderer's back. We got a lot of synths in play right now. Makes things really dangerous.
Hey,
Oh, man, you were actually there? Inside the belly of the beast? If the Brotherhood gave you a custom holotape, that's what I'm looking for. Anything that survived Institute security is gold.
I think I'll hold on to it.
No pressure, man. Whenever you are ready.
Hey, Dez is looking for you.
You ready to hand over the holotape? Only way we're gonna find us a patriot.
Here you go, Tom.
We're in business. You know, I need... Just plug this baby into any terminal in the Institute, and our man Patriot...
Right.
It must make you proud to see all that Father has done, all that he has built.
Sounds like those raiders at
Synth
Little
unit.
Talia were quite a
You were
handful.
scheduled for maintenance duty in SRB last night. Anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report, sir. I carried out my duties, as usual.
Dr. Ao saw you accessing a terminal. You know you are not permitted to access terminals in that section. Is Dr. Ao mistaken?
Yes. I mean, no, he's not. But I was only...
What is it? Were you or weren't you accessing a terminal in SRB?
I was. But I swear it's not... what it sounds like. I was cleaning the terminal, and it switched on by mistake. I was just shutting it down.
Was that a stutter? Have you developed a defect, unit? Maybe you need to be reset.
Sir, I assure you that won't be necessary. It won't happen again.
See that it doesn't. You don't want me to tell you twice. Now get back to your duties.
Hey, it's me. So you're the one who sent the encrypted message. How did you even do that? I wasn't sure anyone on the surface would have a chance to crack Trinity. You know, the encryption algorithm.
A friend named Tinker Tom cracked your encryption.
He must have had some serious hardware to pull that off. Your message was only one word. Friend. What did you mean by that?
The railroad sent me to look for someone they called Patriot. That's you.
What? The railroad? And they gave me a code name too? I kept sending synths to the surface hoping someone would help them. I hoped the railroad got to some of them, but I never knew for certain.
You saved a lot of synths.
So much to take in. But wait, with you in the picture, I have this idea. But we'll need help. Where's he working now? Right. Let's go to the West Atrium. Probably best to talk about something else right now. You know my father thinks it's a living hell on the surface. But that can't be right. Heck, you look positively normal to me. No offense. I'm not sure if we could ever make the surface actually a decent place to live. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't at least try to help, you know? Good. He's here. C-114. It's me.
Sir, do you require something?
It's okay, Z1. He's a friend. He's with the railroad.
Meeting here is dangerous. And you bring a stranger. You. How do I know we can trust you?
Because the members of the railroad have dedicated their lives to fight for your freedom.
I thought only Mr. Benet cared. But your friends actually fight for us?
That's what the railroad does, Z1. He's from the surface.
I've never met another human willing to help. But, sir, we must make this...
Right now. How many synths want to escape, Z1?
The ones I know for certain?
That'll take forever. Let's free those 13 all in one go.
I would do anything for my people. But it's no good. The old maintenance tunnels that lead there are always...
If I can find a way to open those...
Yes. We'll talk later.
Put 2 in the head, and they'll stay dead. Advice to live by.
Proctor, I came across a holotape with a full scan of the Institute's network.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the Interceptor would do to you.
I wasn't worried. After all, I built the device myself.
I have confidence in everything I built too. But that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
Hopefully it'll reveal a weakness in their defenses.
That would be the best case scenario. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling. In the meantime, your mission to recruit Dr. Lee still needs to be completed. Good luck, Knight.
Can't talk right now.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us.
Getting a 3-second ping.
I've convinced her that the Institute is the enemy, not the Brotherhood.
Well done, Knight. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, thanks to the success of your reconnaissance efforts, it's time to advance our operations to the next phase. I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress.
Adjusting internal bayonet pressure. Green lights across the board.
Night.
The human-looking Sims are the worst. They hide in plain sight.
Proctor.
So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project.
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll help us crush the Institute.
It will, but we've got a lot of work ahead of us. Come on, it's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Prydwen might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
No problem. I'm sure this only looks worse than it actually is.
I wish I had your confidence, because this is not going to be easy. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's gonna take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get... The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it...
There's gotta be a way to solve that.
I do all the maintenance on the Prydwen, so you'd think it'd be a snap. As much as I hate to admit it, Prime's power systems are out of my league. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
My duty shift was long.
Attention. Delta Team Lead, report to the bridge. Delta Team Lead to the bridge.
Lancer Captain Kells is one of the finest officers I've ever had the pleasure of serving under.
Can't believe that Dr. Lee's returned to the Brotherhood. I thought she was a traitor.
If you're looking for ammunition or weapon mods, Proctor Tegan might have what you need.
Excuse me, Dr. Lee?
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
You promised you'd help us.
You're right, I did. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Because we care what happens to the Commonwealth.
You know, if anyone else wearing a Brotherhood of Steel uniform said something like that, I'd laugh in their face. But coming from you, it sounds like you actually mean it. Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty Prime back online, but we'll get it done.
Nice work bringing Dr. Lee back into the fold. Now,
I'll take a look.
all of my weapons are mission.
Glad to see you've returned safely from the Institute, brother.
Charging into a situation guns blazing is a good way to get yourself killed. Doesn't it feel good to be a part of something as important as the Brotherhood?
If you find any technical documents, you should bring them to Proctor.
run into any synths, shoot to kill. We don't take prisoners.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
Well, things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming.
Did we make a mistake asking her to help?
Nah, don't worry about it. We might not be best buddies, but we'll get the job done.
Uh-huh.
Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all. We're working with one of Prime's original designers. I don't see it getting... In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuators.
Sure, anything you need.
That's what I love about you. You're ready to leap into action, and I bet you don't have the faintest idea what I'm talking about. The actuators are what allows Liberty Prime's arms and legs to move. Prime's new limbs are way too heavy for the simple hydraulic pistons he had in the past. We're gonna have to rip those out, construct a brand new system using electromagnet. What we need you to do is build the actuators for.
Now that you know what the actuators are, you need to know how to make them. These are the plans and the materials list.
Now, before you get that look on your face, you'll be happy to know that we have plenty of the raw materials on that list right here at the airport. The only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered magnet. According to Proctor Quinlan, the best place to find one is in any of the ruined hospitals. We've already sent out a few teams to find the rest of the high-powered magnets you'll need. They should be back.
Once you start building the actuators, we need one for each limb, so you'll need to make a total of 4. Good luck.
Back to the usual day. Beastly nuisance. Glad that's done with.
Going down. Basement.
Yes.
Please. Remain calm if you are injured. Unidentified intruder detected. Beginning search.
Nothing there after all.
Going up. Second floor. Going down. Basement. Going up. Ground floor. Going down. Basement. Going up.
Hey.
Not much. These there arsenals. That's done with. Oh, back to the usual date.
Going down. Basement.
Nice.
Going up. Second.
stop the Institute. For Maxon, and for the Brotherhood.
You're an inspiration to us all, Knight. Do us proud.
Proctor Ingram.
That's all 4 actuators. Delivered and done. Nice work.
Right on schedule. I've completed the restoration of Prime's basic functions, and he's ready to go. In fact, it's getting difficult to explain to the system why it can't move right now.
Well, as soon as my scribes get those actuators in place, we'll have his arms and legs installed in no time. Which brings me to your next assignment. It won't be long before Prime can walk and talk, but he's missing one last important element. His nukes. Without them, his offensive systems aren't operating at peak capacity.
Shouldn't be a problem. Just tell me where they are.
I wish I could. Prime's bomb pack is fitted for Mark 28 nuclear bombs. The same type of bombs that were dropped from aircraft during the Great War. The Commonwealth was a major staging area for the military's air force, so we assumed we wouldn't have trouble finding them. But since we arrived, our scouting teams haven't located a single bomb.
That's going to be a problem. Without a fully loaded nuke pack, Prime won't have the firepower to take on the Institute.
She's right.
Of course she's right. But before you give up hope, there's actually a silver lining here. Proctor Quinlan has located some records regarding a military installation, which was used as a nuclear weapons storage facility. We're fairly certain this included a stockpile of the Mark 28s. The catch is that the installation is located somewhere within the glowing sea.
I'll head out there immediately.
Good, because that's exactly what we're... Scribe Halen's established a communications point on the... I suggest you head out there first, and establish a signal protocol with her so that the nukes can be airlifted out once you... Hopefully, by the time you've returned, we'll be ready to wake Prime up, and you can say hello. Good luck, Knight.
Well, I'm glad to see the relay didn't completely vaporize you.
The interceptor worked. It was rough, but it worked.
Amazing. And...
Got it right here.
That's it. That's really it. All right. Let's see. Retrovirus has matured nicely. Density gradient is high.
Nice.
Recombinant counter-intron sequences look stable. Transcriptive exon strands have formed.
That's good.
It is. But there's only one way to know if it works. All right. Here we go. And now, we wait.
It'll work. Don't worry.
I hope so. We just have to let the retrovirus run its course. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm back in a few days, maybe a week, and in any event, you kept your end of our bargain.
Protect and serve.
to see you again, Knight. You've come a long way since you stumbled into the Cambridge police station.
Thanks, Halen. I assume the place is still in one piece.
We're doing the best that we can. We've had the occasional synth attack, but so far we've been able to keep them from overrunning us. Thanks to the reinforcements and the air support, I'd say that site was secure.
That's not surprising. After all, it's in good hands.
I appreciate that. Anyway, I know you don't have time for small talk, so I'll get right to it. I've had the men set up the equipment we'll need to pinpoint you once you've found the bombs. We've rigged up this distress pulsar to emit a unique tone that we'll be listening for. When you find the bombs, plant the pulsar, and we'll handle the rest. After that, you should probably head back to Proctor Ingram and bring her your...
Doesn't sound too difficult.
Ah, no. Not at all. You're only heading back into the most inhospitable... Look, I know you've been through the glowing sea before, but... remember to keep an eye on your Geiger counter. If you don't, the radiation will cook you from the inside out. Good luck, Knight.
Got it.
State your purpose, stranger. You walk on Atom's hallowed ground.
It's all right, brother. I'm a child of Atom, too. I'm part of a church up north, the Nucleus, near a town called Far Harbor.
Far Harbor? You've seen Atom's holy veil, but you have traveled so far. I apologize. Take this, and prepare to enter his... Follow the brilliance of the glow. May Atom's radiance...
brother.
Proctor Ingram?
Looks like the Mark 28s are gonna do the trick. That was a good find.
I'll work with your team to ensure that Prime's bombs remain stable after they're loaded into his pack. It won't be too much of a problem.
Well, Dr. Lee, I have to admit, we couldn't have done this without you.
It's a little early to begin celebrating, Dr. Ingram. We haven't fully thrown the switch on Liberty Prime, and I'm just hoping all the work I've done to keep his system stable are gonna hold.
I have full confidence in the abilities of everyone here.
I appreciate that.
Proctor, all the readouts look green. I think it's time for you to perform the power shunt.
Actually, I think I'm gonna let you press the button. After all, without your help, we'd still be—
It would be better if a trained technician performed that task, but I suppose you deserve to be the one to do it.
Liberty Prime, back online.
All right, let's run a basic diagnostic on him.
Diagnostic command accepted.
Give him a moment. He needs to adjust to his new configuration.
Voice module online. Audio functionality test initialized. Designation: Liberty Prime Mark II. Mission: the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska. Primary targets: any and all red Chinese invaders.
Now let me run a system analysis and battle readiness check.
Liberty Prime, full system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Warp. Nuclear weapon payload depleted. Reload required. Warning. Power core offline. Running on external power only. Core restart recommended. Ability to repel red Chinese invaders compromised.
I've got green lights across the board here. He's looking good from where I'm sitting. Doctor, if you wouldn't mind keeping an eye on the big guy here, I'd appreciate it. Well, I have to admit, I wasn't sure we'd be able to pull it off, but Liberty Prime's looking pretty good.
With him on our side, I don't see how the Institute even stands a chance.
I couldn't agree with you more. Before you head off to your next assignment, I have something for you. I came up with this little beauty myself. I think it'll add a bit more punch to your power armor.
It'll do, I suppose.
Well, that's gratitude for you. Anyway, that's enough of that. You better hightail it up to the Pridwin. Elder Maxson said he needed to speak to you as soon as you were done here. And thank you, Knight.
Sure.
Ad Victoriam, Knight.
Is there anything you wish to tell me, Knight?
Not at all. I have nothing to hide.
I find that very hard to believe. Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something. Unprecedented. Paladin Danse is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
That's impossible.
I'm afraid not. The evidence is quite damning. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Dance's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL. Disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin... I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you, and then swore you to secrecy.
You have to believe me. He never told me he was a synth.
Apparently, I've misjudged you, which means I've decided to take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Danse is a synth. He represents everything we hate. A monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed. Which leaves me facing the most difficult order I've ever given. I'm ordering you to hunt down...
I won't do it. Danse deserves a chance to explain himself.
You will do it. This is not up for judgment or debate. I'm giving you a direct order, Knight, and I expect you to follow it without question. Listen, I'm not blind to the fact that Danse was your mentor, and this isn't an easy burden to bear. But if we're to remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions. Even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these. You're dismissed.
Attention!